All right. Hello, everyone. I'm so dang excited for tonight's Zoom. We all know that tomorrow things are about to get wild. So when I reached out to Amber a couple weeks ago, I was like, the 20th would be perfect. You're going to hype us up, get us ready for what's going to come, not share any secrets because coming tomorrow, we're all going to lose our minds. I already know. But Amber, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. If you want to just start by sharing a little bit about your story from before it works, kind of your journey through it and how life looks now. So I just unmuted you.
Yay! Hello, you guys. How are you? First of all, I just have one simple request. If you can turn your cameras on, turn your cameras on. Okay. I love to see every single person. And so I definitely want to be able to see you guys. Okay, perfect. All right. So you guys, how are you? Did you have a Merry Christmas? I'm so ready for New Year's. All of the things. 2020 has been a ride, but so have the last 8 years for me. Now I joined this business in August of 2012, and it was in August, and I went Ruby in 45 days, not wanting to do this business. Okay, let me repeat that. I went Ruby in 45 days. When I started, I said, I can't afford the products. I just want to be a distributor so I can get the products when I want. But I knew deep down I needed more, right? That $200 to $500. That's what the average American needs forever. That's just not 2020, you guys. That's what they always need. Okay. I would ask you, if I gave you $200 to $500 right now, would you take it? Or would you be like, no, I'm rich, I'm cool, life's great, I would never need $200 to $500 extra dollars. But sometimes we put our mindset in that avenue of, no, but she's good, she doesn't need it. Or we look for the people that are the obvious, saying I need a job, and that's not simply the case. And a lot of people, the reason why they don't get started is because they don't believe in themselves. And that was me. Okay. Maybe you're at that point in your business right now, or in point in your life where you just don't simply believe in yourself, and you need to borrow some of that. So I got started in August. And when I got started, our bank account was negative, about $500. And I remember trying the wrap and being like, okay, this thing is amazing. This is awesome. And I just wanted it for myself. But as soon as I started using the products and sharing my own personal results, real quick, you guys, 45 minutes, it was just one time. It wasn't 6-month results. It wasn't 2-year results. Okay. I shared the same picture like it was on fire every single day, over and over and over again. And I just needed one result. One. That's it. And I shared that, and I shared it again, and I shared it again, from stranger to stranger to stranger to stranger. No, my mom and dad didn't join. No, my sisters and best friends didn't join me first and foremost. No, I didn't have a network, and I didn't have a cute Instagram or a following. I built this business from the ground up, and we can teach you how to do that. And that's exactly what KPI does. But that's a whole nother story. So after those 45 days, I went Ruby, and I was working in a salon full time during all that. And I had 2 babies, 1 and 3, at my feet, and my husband worked. So I didn't have hubby home to help me with the business. Okay. And I got started 45 days later. I got that paycheck, that Ruby paycheck. It was $384. And I remember being like, screw this. I just worked 45 days for $300. Okay. I was mad. And it wasn't the fact that I was mad about $384, because that's a little greedy and selfish, right? Because that's what I joined for. But what I was mad is that it still wasn't enough. And that I didn't want to do this business because I felt like I was a successful salon owner, and that this business wasn't going to be the vehicle, but God had a different plan. And I remember making that phone call and saying, I'm done. It's just not for me. I worked 45 days, like, for $300. Come on. Like, I can't do this. And not my upline, because she didn't really do much, but the girl above her, we were both Ruby. We were going to Emerald together. We were both learning the compensation plan together. And she said, Amber, do you know that you have an option for a $10,000 diamond bonus? And I was like, yeah, but like, people say that all the time and nobody gets it. That's what how many of you guys say nobody and everybody? Oh, those are like cuss words. Nobody wants to join. Nobody loves the products, blah, blah, blah. Cuss words, guys, get them out of your mouth. They're not welcome in 2021. That's for sure. Okay. But that was my mindset. And she said, if you keep doing exactly what you did over the last 45 days, over the next 45 days, you're going to go diamond and you're going to have this. And I was like, fine, I'll do it. And I'll prove you wrong. And I'll prove you that this is where people don't make money. And on November 15th of 2012, just 3 months later to the date, I went diamond, November 15th. Not 25th, not November 30th or 31st. I don't even know how many days November has. Okay. Because I didn't have somebody to go to and I thought it was from the date I signed up. So I went diamond November 15th. That Christmas, I got my paycheck, wasn't enough. Josh and I bought each other socks for Christmas. My parents bought my kids Christmas. Maybe that was you this holiday season. Or maybe you said, you know what? I just can't afford to get you anything. That's where I was when I started this business. I was at an all-time low. But I knew I knew what that felt like. What if I just keep going and this does work? What if I keep growing and this keeps growing too? And so I kept moving and I went to conference, and conference is coming up, you guys. Conference is a big moment for you to listen. And we actually aren't waiting until conference is actually tomorrow. So newsflash, conference is happening tomorrow. Okay. So how many of you guys are like, oh shoot, I thought I had like 20 more days to like get my mindset ready, to get my dream board ready. No, you don't. You have till tomorrow at noon. And are you going to be ready? Or are you still in your piss poor party that you are like, oh, 2020, get out, not welcome here. Okay. And some will and some will not. Some of you are waiting until the pie just looks so good and like, oh yeah, I think I can do that, for it to just land on your lap. That's not going to happen. And I got to work, you guys. And after conference, I was a diamond. I went diamond, double, triple, from about a $1,500 income in 30 days to $17,000 income. Insert income disclosure statement here. In 30 days. But what you didn't see was, since August, I'd really been working towards that every single day, day in and day out. How many of you haven't even been consistent for 30 days? How many of you are like, I kick on, oh, I'm so fired up, and then life happens. My dog poops on my carpet and I'm mad. I'm real mad. And then I just can't work my business. Or man, my kids are sick, or I'm sick, or, you know, my mom, gosh, like she dyed her hair the wrong color and I got to go help her out. And life happens. And you get so thrown off your game. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I already know what broke is like. I already know what having my lights turned off is like. Okay. I already know what putting back food on WIC and food stamps is like. I don't want to go back there. And if that's what is your non-negotiable, as in like, I never will go back there, then you better turn around and start running towards where you want to go. Because the only person that's going to do this for you is you. Not your mom, not your sister, not your rock star diamond that you have, or this chickenless person who you want. Okay. So we went from diamond to triple in 8 months. Every single day I worked for 8 months, and I didn't work an hour. Sometimes I worked 5 hours. Sometimes I would drive 2 to 4 hours to go meet with one person and drive 2 to 4 hours back home and pray that they would pay me so I could afford gas money back home. That's the risk I was willing to take. Instead of I can't afford it, I can't afford not to. Okay. So in the next time that you say, oh, I just can't afford to, like, you know, watch conference, or I can't afford to try the new product, sis, you can't afford not to. Perspective. Let's switch it. All right. So then a year later, you guys, I had to grow into presidential. I had to grow into ambassador. And in 2.5 years, I went ambassador. 2.5 years from WIC and food stamps. Lights shut off the day before I delivered my son. To now, since my son was 1 year old, he has only ever known mom and dad both home because of this business. Is it hard? Yep. I'm telling you right now, it's hard. There's going to be hard days. Most days you're not going to feel like it. Most days you're going to be like, I am beating my head against a door. What is happening? Bueller, anyone home? Hello? How annoying am I? And somebody is watching and waiting, and they're going to say, if she posts one more time, I'm going to join. If she makes one more coffee, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. But that one time that you miss is going to be that time that they go find somebody else. Okay. And so here we are, you guys, traveling the country. This Christmas, we were able to spend it in Miami. If you would have told me 8 years ago that we were buying socks and my parents bought my kids Christmas to work hard every day at something you love, as something that's completely changed my life, from the health benefits to the friendships, to the fun, to the freedom, okay, to my faith has completely changed, to now being able to pick up and go wherever I want, I would have thought you were hilarious and not little old me. But in fact, God says, who are you not to be? Great. So that's a little bit about my story. Went on a little rant there, but
Oh my gosh. I love it. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and you can just preach all night. We'll just take it all in. Okay. So I reached out to quite a few different people and I just said, what's one question you have for Amber? So we have quite a few. I'm gonna try to go through most of them, but one that I got a ton was how do you balance work life and family life?
This is such a good question, you guys. Number one, you can have it all. But what you have to learn is that you have to find the moments, okay, to include your family in this business. And then the discipline to say, I'm working and I'm mom. I'm working and then I'm wife. I'm working and then I'm friend. Because if you don't do that, you are going to find that you have so much, okay, so much anxiety, or you feel the need to constantly be going like this and it breaks your momentum every 2 seconds. I can see you guys looking at your phones right now. What are you looking for? A red dot? A notification? Stop. It's exhausting. I don't know about you guys, but I'm exhausted. Okay? But I will tell you that when you remember that less is more, number one, KPIs is king. All right. If you are not, how many of you guys do not know what KPI is? Drop a 1 in the chat. You're like, I have no idea what she's talking about. What is KPI? Okay. And if you do KPI and you actually follow it and you keep track of it, I want you to drop a 2 in the chat. Okay. And if you have been doing KPI and it's changed your business, your mom life, your friend life, whatever, I want to hear those testimonies in the chat. But that is how I have it all. Okay. Me staying up later all year long is not effective. Yes, there's going to be seasons when we run. Yes, there's going to be seasons when, okay, it's a little bit later night. I'm not going to bed till 1 o'clock. No problem. That's okay. But me saying I work on my phone too much, that's a personal problem because I don't. That's a scarcity problem, right? We didn't do this business so we cannot be mom. So I can say, oh, I don't have time for laundry. Oh, I don't have time to do the dishes. Yes, you do. You have an addicted to your phone problem, like 99.9% of Americans. And we crave that swipe, tap, swipe, tap, scroll, tap, scroll, swipe, scroll. Amen? And will that ever care? If I'm going to do this business the rest of my life, will that last? No. So learning to, number one, morning is crucial. Nighttime is crucial to having a good morning and a good night, right? Isn't that what we always say? Good morning, good night. But really you're like, crappy morning, crappy night, right? I don't want that. So I'm going to set myself up to stay off my phone for the first 5 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes every single morning. Half of you can't even open up one eye and you're already tap, scroll. Oh, can't even open your eyeballs in the morning. Guilty, only because I was. I'm only saying this to you guys because I'm guilty too, okay? Or at night, one more. Oh, I think just one more. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. One more. Put it down. And you're going to find that you have so much more time to fit this business into the nooks and crannies. But you're also going to find that if I'm doing my task list and I'm sending my messages, I'm not replying. My 5 minutes that I've picked for this is 5 minutes that I want to have for my messaging, and I'm not going to respond to those that are messaging me back, and I'm not going to go to my text messages, and I'm not going to check my notifications if I get a notification that somebody liked my picture from 6 weeks ago. Is that important? No. And so finding those nooks and crannies and then making your family part of it, but really, truly, you guys, it's the KPI checklist. It's got to happen. It's just what is, and that's how I balance life and work. And I take a Sabbath, and I turn it off.
Yeah.
But I have all notifications turned off on my phone. All of them.
So many times people say like, oh, I feel like I'm on my phone too much. I'm like, then you're not being intentional. Because
right, you're avoiding.
If you feel like you be on your phone from 8 a.m. to midnight every day, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
not needed in any
Yeah.
way. And when you start tracking that and looking at what you're doing and you're like, okay, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. I'm going to interact and do this. Then
Yep.
all of a sudden within an hour, hour and a half, you're like, okay, my whole list is done.
And now I can go have a movie night and I can eat lunch with my kids and I can eat lunch or I can eat dinner as a family and not have to be on my phone.
And guilt-free and not sitting there eating dinner and being like, gosh, I really need to answer those messages. I haven't gotten any host to post up today.
No emergency. No emergency.
So true. Okay. So one of the questions was, and somebody asked how you train your new distributors. You guys, you already know her answer is going to get them doing the KPI. It's not anything crazy. But one thing that people asked a lot is they said, how do you inspire your team and cast vision for them?
And some of my team's on, so I'll have them respond in the chat as well, because there's a lot of things that I do, but I don't know if that's true or not. Sorry, Courtney, I can't do the spotlight because I can't see people. And then I just see myself talking. So I'm like, I don't know if it keeps going back and forth, but I'm like, but with inspiring your team, or casting that vision, you guys, I have to keep dreaming. And it's really hard. I'll tell you guys that. And maybe it's hard for you right now, whatever level you're at, whether it's Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, whatever level you're at, you're going to hit a ceiling where you're like, I'm good. My bills are paid. I have $100 in my account. That's more than I've ever had. All right. My car has gas in it. I can fill a full tank. What's your, I'm good? How many of you are there right now? I'm better than I started. It's a dangerous place to be. Okay. And so I know that in order for me to keep moving, we are so good, you guys. I don't want to be good because that means I'm done. And I know I'm not done. Okay. I am not done. Therefore, there's more lives to change. Therefore, I need to keep dreaming. Right now, we have all the options in the world for where we want to live, what we want to buy, what kind of car I want, all the things that are going to enhance my life. I could choose. If I want to go live in Hawaii, I can. If I want to go live in Mexico, sure, why not? Cabo's beautiful, man. Love to live there. And that is so scary. But you guys also have to start dreaming bigger and understand that it is not greedy. It is not selfish. That things, I used to say, oh, I'll never buy a nice pair of sunglasses because I just break them. Anyone else? I don't need a nice house. I have kids. Nice excuse. Nice excuse. Or your home is better than what you grew up in. And so you're super proud, as you should be. But there's a next level of inspiration that needs to move forward. And in order for me to keep moving forward, I need to keep dreaming that I want a helicopter pad, that I want my husband to fly my helicopters and we want to fly all over. Do you guys understand that right now I'm living in a fifth wheel, traveling the country because I can? Do you understand that like God casts and is waiting for you to say, my hands are open. Where do you need me, Lord? How many of you don't feel worthy of that? I have to keep dreaming bigger so they can dream a little bit bigger than where they're at. And that's hard sometimes too. When I see Carly, one of my girls, guys, like the girl is on fire and she's breaking chains of how she grew up. And she is attracting money because she's ready. She's like, oh, I got this money. I found this $100 bill. Oh, weird. I just paid cash for a car after 3 weeks of doing this, this, and this. I'm like, heck yeah, girl. Heck yeah. Okay. And so as soon as you open up a little bit, the only reason why playing small seems cool is because somebody told you you can't have it or you're not worth it, or rich people do bad things with money, or money changes you. How many of you guys heard that one as a child? I did. Sure did. Okay. Money it's not always about money, but it's the freedom behind what you can do with that money. It's the giving behind the money. It's the saying, oh, you can't afford these groceries the day before Christmas. I got you. Don't worry about it. That's the gift. That's where you guys want to start dreaming, is just small, or being happier, or being able to say, you know what, Mom, I need new shoes. And you having that extra $39 to go buy a pair of Nikes from Ross, because that's where I shop. I don't know about you guys, but that's where I just bought my son's Nikes. Okay. Like, you want to have that. And so ask and wrestle. And actually, I want to know, what are you reaching for in 2021? What are your 7 goals? Physical, financial, emotional? What is it? In 2021, I want to know 7 of your goals right now, not 30, not 100. I just want 7, you guys, 7 of them. Okay. I'm going to read that chat. Okay. So Carly said she never expects us to do anything she's not willing to do. She's always dreaming bigger. Leads by example is the biggest way to cast that vision. There you go. And not everyone will come with you. And I think that's the hardest part. Sometimes I feel like I'm dreaming too big, that I'm 17 steps ahead of where my team is. Some of them are still trying to provide food for the family. And that's okay. Ambassador, top 100, 400,000 annually, top giver at church. Help my brother and his wife get pregnant, become new parents. I love it. Scarlett. Ooh, Scarlett's so good, you guys. Put God first. That's one of mine, is to like really build that relationship with him. Yeah. Put myself second. Amen to that. How many of you guys as moms feel like you became a mom and you're like, I'm just a mom? And not that being just a mom is a bad thing, but we lose our identity. Some of you get married and lose your identity, right? You become so-and-so's wife. Ooh, that one hurts. Hurts. And then we're told, that's what you're supposed to do. You decided to have kids. You shouldn't be working. Don't let people shit on you. Okay? Not their life. I love it. Buy my mom and dad a house. I love it. Let's get specific, you guys. That's the thing. What is it going to look like? Where's the land going to be? What is the front door going to feel like? Is it going to have glass? Is it going to be wood? Is it going to have carpet, hardwood floor, tiles? Like, you've got to dream and then feel it. Okay. VIP by March, 5 personal diamonds, debt free, living on my own. And again, you guys, Haley, I want to talk to you about this. Living on your own. What does that look like? Have you posted it on social and said, hey, in 6 months, I'm living on my own. I'm moving out. You want to know what's interesting? Okay. Let me pull up my memories real quick. And this is where the dreaming starts, you guys. It starts by talking about it. It starts by talking about it when you have no idea how it's going to happen. Okay. 1 year ago today, this popped up. Would you rather see us travel for 3 months on the road or flip a house? 1 year ago, I wrote that. Here we are, 8 months on the road. All because I said, I'm curious. And it wasn't for my social media, it was for me. I start dreaming today so I can look back and see where I came from. Are you guys even talking about how you're going VIP by March? Are you talking about how hungry you are to help those 5 diamonds? Are you casting the dreams and visions to other people? People will sign up and go with people who know where they're going. I love it. I want you guys to specific. The more detailed you can be, the better it's gonna happen. Okay. Another one for me is I want to fall in love with reading again. So important to get away from our phone. Now I listen to Audible, but I really want to fall in love with reading again. And I read at night. And it's been 7, 8. What day are we on? Monday. Mm-hmm. So 7. It's been 14 days since I've read every single night before bed. I feel like I'm like sober. I need like a medal. Like, you guys, like, this is a huge deal to not be on my phone. And celebrate it too. Set those small goals for yourself. If I can go 2 days only working my business for 1 hour, man, I'm excited, you know? Or if I can, you know, work my business coming up, we're going to need a little more than what's coming tomorrow. We're going to need a little bit more than an hour. I'm just saying. But what is that scheduled time? Whether it's an hour here, an hour and a half while kids sleep. Okay, you don't get to nap while kids sleep. All right, make those sacrifices. And then is it, I put my kids to bed at 8, and from 8 to 11, I'm going to work. You've got to, you can pick it. It's up to you. Okay. I love it.
So good. I'm like getting so inspired reading all of everyone's goals.
Oh,
love it, because I want everyone I think we're on 3. Put a 3 in the chat if that was the first time saying publicly one of those goals. If you've never told anyone that that was one of your goals. Because sometimes it's hard to share things because you're like maybe you're brand new and you're like, okay, I want to go triple diamond in 2021. And you're like, but I don't know how the heck that's going to happen. Starting to share that is where you're going to start believing in yourself. Starting to
true.
talk about it and telling people, hey, I'm going to go here. I don't know how the heck I'm going to get there, but I'm going to get there. That's where that belief comes from. So somebody asked in the chat, they messaged me privately. They said, do you have any favorite self-development books, podcasts, videos, anything at all that you would recommend?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I have so many. Number one, I want to say that whatever area of life you're in is going to be different. So my favorite today is different than when I was going diamond. So look to, like, I could tell you my money mindset is what I've worked on this entire year. And you may be like, I need to work on confidence or sales or systems or marketing or branding. So there's a lot that I could offer, but I also have to remember that, like, just because I think a book is awesome, it may not be the book that the student is ready for that book. Okay. The one that I just finished, and I finished it in a week, was Live by Sadie Robertson. And she's coming to conference. She is one of the guest speakers at conference, and she's amazing. Yep. Yes. Rochelle is showing it as well. I loved the book. It was absolutely, like, bawled, cried, amazing book. I'm actually reading it for the second time right now. But that one again is like, am I even living? Right? Or am I scared? Am I stagnant? Another really good book that completely flipped my life over is The Last Arrow by Erwin McManus. And that book, I've read it 9 times. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I've listened to it. It's amazing. But if, again, the book that took me diamond was You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. I needed that confidence. She was my mentor, and she took me diamond. And the song by Alicia Keys, This Girl Is on Fire, I just listen to it every day. Excuse my voice. Every day, you guys. So you have to find your own pep rally on the days when you're like, life freaking sucks, man. And it's hard. Who's your coach? And who's your coach that's not your mom or your sister or your best friend that's going to tell you to put your big girl pants on and keep going, right? Open up your circle and then close it. Don't be ashamed to kick people out of your circle this year. You owe nobody an explanation either. Okay? Another one that I just read, I know a couple of my girls are reading it right now. It's called Get Rich, Lucky Bitch. It is nuts. Remember how I told you that Carly, like, started having all this money come in? She read that book. It is phenomenal. It's a great book to listen to because her voice is amazing. And then, so, I mean, those are a couple. The Anomaly Mindset, shifting your mindset to how you think, reprogramming your brain is so, like, you don't think that you joined a business and you're like, how am I going to retrain my brain? But it's kind of fun, you guys. Growing into who you are and what challenges you is really freaking fun. So those are a couple of like I could go on and on and on, but I mean, right now I'm reading Live Fearless by Sadie Robinson. It's actually one of her first books before. She has Live Original, Live Fearless, and then Live, and I think there's another one. But I started reading To Hell with the Hustle, didn't love it, put it away. In my Audible, I'll read it later. That's the other thing, you guys. If it's not pulling you, drop it. If it's not, getting you riled up. Another one, last year, 2 years ago, I was really struggling with confidence. And so I had to listen to a stupid book that literally is called Self-Esteem Affirmations. And it repeats them 10 times. And I was so pissed off and I didn't want to hear it. And I was like, I don't understand why I have to say, I am beautiful. 10 times over and over and over again. I was so frustrated, but it helped me a lot. There's the Prayer of Jabez that I would recommend reading daily. There's so many. You Were Born for This. It Takes What It Takes. Oh man. The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. Ooh, if you can handle a little cussing, and by a little I mean a lot. Don't listen to this with the kids, but it's called The Decision by Kevin Hart.
Someone
It's
just put that in the chat right before you said that.
dude. Yes, it is nuts. The miracle morning, the vision. If you feel like, again, it's what do you need? Like, what are you struggling with? And then maybe I can help you. Unqualified by Stephen Furtick is really good, where you feel unqualified for the job. Crash the Chatterbox is one if you have a lot of negative self-talk. The Anomaly Mindset wrecked me. Rhinoceros Success is really good. It's about an hour and a half. So that's always one that's like every once in a while if you just need a good pick me up. Beginner's Pluck is really fun. That one was good. Build to Last. That one actually inspired me to do KPIs along with God's Vision. So that one's really good. I mean, you guys, so many, but the average CEO reads I think it's 2 books a month. Well, I don't want to be average. I want to be more than the CEO. So I'm trying to listen to 1 book a week.
I love that. And everyone who, if you're anything like me and you're like, I can't write fast enough, this is recorded. It'll go up on my YouTube tonight. Come back. It's about 30 minutes in. So note to self, come back about 30 minutes. You can write them all down. So we got a couple questions that people asked specifically about like where they're at in their business. So
Oh, I love it.
somebody said, what would you say to someone who feels like they have been stuck for so long and feels like they can't break through to their next promotion? Specifically,
Okay.
this person was a diamond or is a diamond.
Okay.
And they just feel like they can't get there.
So number 1, you're not alone. Amen in the chat if you agree. Okay. You're not alone. All right. The devil loves fear and will instill it in you at all times that possible. Okay. So I think one of the things is that we put this pressure on ourselves that we're a one-hit wonder. Everyone, remember those 2 cuss words that I said we're not taking into 2021? Everyone and everywhere and everything. Okay. Those words are so nasty. All right. Because it's not true. But we say things like, well, everyone knows I was diamond and now I'm paid as distributor. And so how do I say like I'm going back diamond? Well, you don't. What you do is you stop looking at what you lost and you start looking at what you can give. And you don't look at the difference from you going from distributor back to diamond. You look at how you have to get to double and that you're helping 3 new rubies get there. You're helping 2 new emeralds get there. You're helping someone else get diamond. This has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with somebody else. And when we feel stuck, it's because we're focusing on ourselves and what we've lost, what I've done. I'm a horrible person. My business fell, blah, 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 whatever it is that you're telling yourself. It's simply not true. Okay. And so start by saying, okay, and envisioning and dreaming beyond double. And you're going to hit that ceiling again, I promise. Like that's almost a guarantee. It doesn't matter what, it may be ruby. It may be ambassador and you fall down to triple. I've seen ambassadors fall down to double and worked back to ambassador and super close to double ambassador. It's the growth process. Most of the time where we fall is when we stop growing. If we're not growing, we're dying. Okay. And so a lot of times we think, oh, I want to get back diamond. So I need to do more. I need to work more. I need to post more. I need to message more. Or is it just simply that you need to grow more? That's easy because guess who controls that? You. Right? So it's not so much about that I need to get back there. You're not a one-hit wonder. You just stopped growing and your plant died. Okay? You stopped watering all the seeds that you planted and fear and faith cannot coexist. Fear is definitely louder than faith, but fear is an opportunity to lean on faith. And faith is what's going to carry us in the hard days when we don't think that we can, when literally nobody's even liking your post. Okay? It's not about the how, it's that you are. And so I'm telling you, grow, 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 grow. Spend more time in books. Spend more time listening to Audible. Like it's your job to go to college on your phone. Okay? I've studied the last 8 years, systems, sales, marketing, friendships, how to talk to people. Like, because I don't want to talk to people a lot of times. There, I said it. Judge me. Okay. Y'all can't even lie. That's the truth for you too. Right? You're like, I would rather not talk to somebody right now. Okay. Or maybe you react instead of respond. What do leaders do? What about leadership? You want to be ambassador? You better know how to handle all kinds of personalities that aren't going to get along, because this is a people business. Okay? Are you snippy or are you graceful? These are all things that we're constantly learning, and I'm not done learning either. Because if I'm done learning, then I'm done here. And I'm not done, and neither are you. So you just have to cast that vision. What is double going to do? And then the fear is going to set in. Well, if I go double, what if I fall back down again? Well, you probably will, because you just said it. So good job. Only speak of the things that you want, not the things that are lies. Because the only answer is yes. And so why do I want to look for a no when God's already given me the yes? Okay. I hope that answers it.
So good. So good. Okay. So somebody said, what do you do when you feel like the majority of your team are distributors who are doing some things, but nobody's really running and nobody's really enrolling?
Same thing. Cuss words, right? Nobody, everybody. You guys are now that I've brought this to your attention, you are going to be like, holy crap. Wow. I talk like this a lot, right? And the answer is yes, you are right. Absolutely. Nobody will. And nobody is. You're right. Nobody. Not one person. Delete, delete, delete. No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Okay. So in that case, number one, I think one thing that helps me stay away from that dangerous zone is that on the first of the month, I have nobody on my team. In my mind, I have no ambassadors. My sister's not on my team. My best friend's not on my team. These rock star girls that signed up last month and in college are not on my team in my mind, because we depend on them. How many of you are sitting on the 3 distributors that you signed 6 months ago, hoping that one day maybe they'll fly? And maybe they will, but they're definitely not when you're sitting there staring at them like, are you coming this month? No. Okay. Hey, are you coming this month? No. Oh, dang it, man, I'm frustrated. Frustration builds fear. Fear paralyzes you. So think about all the things that we can do to not be frustrated. And moving forward and signing up new people is going to keep your momentum. Guys, my original diamond chart, I have 2 people. 2, not even from my original, like my second, third month original. From my OG original diamond, I have one person that's still here 8 years later. 1. But what if I went back and kept looking at the same 65 people, or however many there was within 3 months, and said, anybody? I'm waiting on you 8 years later. But instead, we got to sign up new. And I promise, as you move forward and you start signing up people, the girls on your team and the guys on your team are going to be like, don't leave me, please. And then they can come back, and some won't. And that's okay. Some don't work the first 30 days and then come back 6 months later. And they're like, hey, I think I'm ready. Be their friend first. That helps a lot too. And not just ask them, hey, it's the 25th. Do you need to run an auto shipment? Hey, we have a new product out. Do you want to order? Hey, I need you as a qualified box. Can you help out? No. Why don't you ask what their dog's name is? Or what their kids are allergic to? Or say happy birthday, or remember their kids' names. Again, these are all things that I learned about leadership that I didn't think were important. I don't freaking care what Scruffy's name is. Okay? But you get to. You better figure it out. Because I promise, if I go to Taylor and I say, Taylor, oh my gosh, your kitten, Scrooge, oh, he's so cute. He's always playing with that, ball on Instagram. They're so funny. I love that. She's going to be like, oh my gosh, she actually knows me. And so work on being that friend first. Okay. And I hope that helps.
It does, because a lot of times people are so focused on looking back at where their team is instead of looking forward at the people that are coming, because you never know when that next person's just going to take off. People have gone diamond in their first month. Why can't it be the next distributor you sign up? Well, if
Right.
you're looking back at all the distributors you currently have, you're not going to sign up that one. Someone else is.
Agreed.
So, okay.
Okay.
Somebody said I am just under 3,000 for my goal for the end of this month, and I'm terrified that it's not going to come together. How can I do this?
Number one, believe. It is like the root. I feel like belief is the seed that's not planted. That's the seed that's not planted, that needs to be planted, that you've got to water and it'll grow. But the first to anything is believing that it can happen. And instead it's, I want it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'd like it, but it's never happened in the last 6 months. So why would it happen in the next 3 days? Well, you have to believe. Okay. And one thing that I like, you guys are going to think I'm weird and creepy, and here we are, whatever. Okay. One thing that I do that I really like, and it's weird. So if you're not here for it, put it on the shelf. Maybe you'll like pick up this tool later. Okay. All day long, I feel like I have someone on my shoulder talking to me. Negative and positive, but more positive, right? Because I have to choose that. It's a constant battle. But if I go to bed in the mindset that, oh my gosh, I can picture, remember how I said, picture the floor in the new home. Picture what it's going to be like sharing your story of being on this Zoom, wanting that 3,000 volume, working really, really hard, trusting, rallying your team around it, telling your market that you're super close, you're this many away, do a countdown, cast that vision. Have you even talked about it? Because I promise people want to help you, but you haven't even asked for help. Okay. So you're taking an opportunity away from somebody from giving to you because you're not even willing to share. So all day long, if I go to bed and I remember what that feeling is like, I'm on this Zoom and I remember her saying this analogy and oh my gosh, I did it. And now I'm talking about it January 1st and I did it and it's done. And what am I going to cry? Am I going to be, all of those things matter. And so you have to envision and feel that it's going to happen. Okay. Every single person I talk to signs up. This volume is flowing in perfectly and effortlessly. Like, where's your affirmations behind it? Where's your belief? Like I planted the seed of belief that I'm going to do it, whatever it is for you. Okay. And then I'm going to water it with all things are possible through Christ, right? Fear is a liar. Faith is great, right? All these positive affirmations. I am this. 3,000 volume is done. You know what? It's 3,300 volume. I have this is crazy. I believe it's done. And that's what you're going to water that belief over the next few days. And not only the next few days until the accomplished, until you guys, the goals shouldn't change. Time frame may. Okay. Look, that post I showed you 8 months later. But what if I wouldn't have even planted that little seed and been open to it? But a lot of us aren't open to it because we don't have the whole mat. We don't have our ducks in a row. Oh, you think I can do 6 months? I've lived here for 10 years. I've been in this abusive relationship for this long. I've struggled with buying milk for this long. I've never put a full gas tank in. How do I even know what that feels like? Because you're looking back, right? Start planting the seeds of belief in what you want and stay on that lane. Stay on that on the hard times. And you will have hard times, I promise you. There will be more times when you're like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's too close. It's not going to happen. You, in that moment, at least what I do is I say, this is not the space for that. Like, Lord, take it. I know your promises. I know what vision you casted for me. This is not welcome here. And it's that simple. Might be weird, but it's that simple.
It's so good. So I always tell people, I'm like, it's only too much volume if you tell yourself it's too much volume.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at it, because here's the thing, you might be 3,000 from Emerald, but someone who's going ambassador, if they're 3,000, they're like, oh my God, done.
Yeah.
Because it's all a mindset thing. The month that I went double diamond, I woke up the last day of the month needing just over 3,000 with not a single person set to order. But it was done in my heart. And I counted down on my story, just like you said. And you'd be shocked how many people were messaging me, even after it was done, being like, do you need any, like, do you still need something? I'll order. I'm like, sis, I messaged you 47 million times. You never answered.
Yeah.
You know who's going to show up for you. And you have to trust that God's going to bring the things in when you believe that they will.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Let's see. I asked this question to everyone. What is something that you know now that you wish you would have known when you started? I am glad no one's ever asked me this question because I'm like, give me 6 hours. But
Yeah.
you can make it short. What's like one thing that you're like, okay, I really wish I would have known this?
I wish somebody would have told me that I'm capable and that I can. Because the way I feel like that most of us that are raised or grow up, and everyone's life is different, and we all have trauma. We all have parents that are assholes. We all have, sisters that are mean to us, or people that tell us we're bad, sick, and wrong. Okay. Well, welcome to the world. All right. But I wish somebody would have said, you are capable and you can if you keep growing. I knew I needed to grow. I didn't know how much. And again, it's not about the how, it's that that that's what needs to happen. I also wish somebody would have told me how simple it is and to not overcomplicate it. And I wish I would have known that my playing small in the beginning and saying I just want $200 to $500 is a complete insult to where the Lord wants to take you. Like it's knowing that now, man. But I needed to know that now, because if somebody would have told me, hey, Amber, in 8 years, you're going to be able to travel the country. You're going to be able to have an incredible savings account, pay cash for all your items, give back in a way that you've never been able to, you guys. Never have we ever given back as much as we have. And it's freaking fun. Okay. I would have turned around and ran. But the more and more that we know that this is more of a growth process, and who do you get to become? Unless you're in love with your life and you are happy and you have unicorns coming out your eyeballs, then good for you. I don't. Okay. Maybe one day I will, but I don't today. So I want to keep growing. And I know that if I am not willing to grow financially, money mindset, my how I speak, the way that I see, the things that I'm listening to, whether it's friendships, family, audibles, music, all that stuff matters. And we don't think that it does, but it affects us more than we think. And what else? I wish somebody would have said, or what I wish I would have known when I started, is that this has nothing to do with me and everything to do with somebody else. I didn't learn that for a while.
Oh my gosh. So good. I love that you said you wish you would have, like, someone would have told you that you were capable, because so many people in the beginning, the first like month or whenever, they're like, I just don't think, like, you're, put a 4 in the chat if you're within your first month or whatever, and you're looking at Amber or whoever you look at as a leader, and you're like, I just don't know if I can ever be them. I just don't know if I can ever be that successful. Because I remember feeling that way when I was on Zooms or at events and being like, I don't know if that's in me. Like, I don't know if I can get there. But over time, your belief will grow, and it'll grow more and it'll grow more, and you will get there. But
When I think too, Courtney, one of the biggest things is we try to be somebody else.
yeah,
That first conference, I saw all these girls. They were like 5'9" plus, beautiful Barbies, blonde hair. At that time, you guys, my head was shaved. My hair was black. Okay. Like, I remember sinking in my chair and thinking, I'll never be them. I'll never make it. And that was the first time in a long time that I heard God say and speak to me. And that's where my faith started. And he said, why not you? And I piped up in my chair and I thought, holy shiz. He's speaking to me.
yeah,
Why not me? And the fact of the matter is that you don't need to be anybody else. He doesn't want you to be anyone else. He needs you to be exactly who you were born to be.
yeah,
And you're not done. You're not even there. You're not even remotely close to there yet. And I think that's what scares people more than staying in the misery that they know is, who do I have to become?
yeah,
And who do I get to be?
yeah. Oh my gosh. And I love that you said that it's about other people, because I have allowed myself to dream because I've seen others dream. And what I want you to know everyone that's on here is people are going to allow themselves to dream because they saw you dreaming. And if you cut yourself off from your dreams, they'll never get the chance to dream because you gave up on it. So just know that. Okay, I loved this question that someone asked. They said, what makes you most excited about the future of It Works? You've been in for 8 years. What makes you most excited about where we're going as a company?
Well, I can kind of cheat. This is sad. Obviously you guys being the field liaison, and it's fun. And then there's times where I'm like, don't tell me, I want to be excited just like they are tomorrow at 12 o'clock. But I know Mark's heart. He's like a dad to me. Okay. And even if you've never met him or shook his hand, or if you even ever get the chance to get to know those mentors through social media. Social media is a beautiful, beautiful avenue to get to know new mentors and have that vision. And so with what's coming, number one, it's never been done before. And number two, if you think like good bonuses were good and like double good were good, no. This is a whole nother level of what in the heck. I've actually been pretty stressed out because I know who I get to become over these next few months. And I'm scared. I'm truly scared. It is a full-on leap that's going to happen in this company. The new product that's coming, has anyone followed the clues on social media? Don't ask me what it is because I do not have a poker face and I cannot lie. My team knows better than to ask me anything like that, but it's always innovative. They're constantly changing. They're 2 steps ahead of every other company, and they have us in the front of their mind. And what do we need? What are we ready for? Mark wouldn't be giving us these promotions and this product if we weren't ready for it. And so knowing that, like, I think of even where we came from when I started to a white body wrap. You guys, I had white body wraps. They were in a white box with green leaves on them. 8 years ago, we led with wraps, fat fighters, and defining gel. Huh? Does anyone even talk about fat fighters anymore? Does anyone talk about the benefits of defining gel anymore, or use wraps? Like we should, because they're amazing products still. But more for a broader market is what is in store, and it's going to be huge for those that actually take their personal results seriously.
Oh my gosh, so good. Did anyone else just get goosebumps? Because I've been around a time or two. I've been around almost 5 years now. That's insane. But you're like, more the double good bonuses. I'm like, I remember double good bonuses. I remember that day. You guys, it's about to get crazy.
And again, what I love, and I'll tell you guys this now, this is just a little clue. Okay. What is coming will be beneficial to the distributor who signed up 5 years ago, who's still paid as a distributor. It'll be beneficial to the diamond who fell down to executive, who wants to go double. It'll be beneficial for all the new people that are coming in. It is like a all-time playing field. Open it up. Everyone can win for those that are willing to run. And
I'm so excited. I already told my husband, I'm like, babe, I don't know if I'm gonna sleep tonight. I don't know. I'm excited. He's like, do you need me to stay home? Because you normally goes to gym at time. I'm like, I don't know. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna figure it out. I don't know. Okay. So boom season is upon us. I mean, boom season can be anytime, but like this is like boom season. It's about to get crazy. So I want to know either stories of your own during boom season or any like big stories that you can just tell us about, like for newer distributors or people who are like, what's really possible? Like, what is this boom season people talk about? Share some stories that you've heard as a field liaison about what happens during this time.
Sure. So, I mean, my first boom was going diamond in November when most people are like, it's a slow season. Wasn't for me. I didn't know otherwise. And honestly, no November and December has been for me because I know for majority it is. And so when everyone else is sleeping, I'm cruising. Okay. And so find these little moments and don't go with the crowd, go with the rare. Right. But the second one that I saw and that and that kind of, and I hope I can cast some vision for you guys right now, was going diamond as a diamond. I had 10 people at conference, and They announced some bonuses, and I remember looking at my team and I said, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And in 30 days, we had in that 8 months from conference to March, 15 new diamonds pop. Yeah. And it was just who was hungry. And we were all running together. It wasn't, what do I need from you, right? For my promotion. It was, holy crap. I just all of a sudden got everything that I wanted when I reached out to my team deep down. I don't care if I person rolled them or not. And so many of us are looking at the top line. Oh, she quit, she quit, she quit. Well, what about the 57 people that are still running auto shipments? What about the girl who showed loyalty to you for 6 years? What about the one who's been silent but still using the products? What about the one that's constantly showing up to every single Zoom that may not be the best closer? What about her? And why don't you look at the strengths of your team? And so, I mean, I have seen, again, from diamond to triple in 30 days. I don't know about you, but if in the next 8 months you could go triple by looking at who can I help? Zig Ziglar says, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll always have more than enough of what you want. And if you don't have him as your mentor, he's passed on now, but it doesn't mean he can't be your mentor. Okay. Look up him, study him. He's still got an Instagram. Like, he's an amazing mentor. Still one of my greatest mentors. And Og Mandino, OG Mandino. Amazing men. Amazing. So, I mean, and some will, some won't. So what? We'll see what happens next year. But you have to make the decision that, like, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it right now, even though it's not convenient. I'm going to do it right now, even though I know life's going to happen. I'm going to do it right now, even though I said I was going to do it for the last 4 years. You have to make the decision, because once you make the decision and you start talking about that, you're going to show up more and more every single day, knowing that you went on your social media today, and although you only got 5 likes, 467 people saw that post. And although you got 0 likes, someone's watching you. You got to do it anyways. And you do it regardless of people that talk about you. People talk about me all the time. Keep talking. I'll give you more to talk about.
Oh my gosh. So good. I love that you said you're going to do it and you're going to do it scared, because there was someone on my team and she was like, I just feel like I'm not there yet. Like, I'm just scared to go. I think it was Ruby. And I'm like, let me tell you something. And I'm sure you will agree with this. You are never going to look at a promotion and be like, oh, this is so easy. It's so done. Like, I don't even have to worry about anything. It just feels right. No, you're going to be terrified 90% of the time. You're going to do it and be like, I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from, but you're going to do it anyways. Love it. Okay. Is there any last minute things that you're like, I want to end with this? I feel like God's telling me to tell him this.
Yes. Number 1 is get the Ruby charts out. You guys, if you don't know where you're going, you're going to have a hard time knowing what to post, having a hard time knowing what you need for that promotion. No, I don't want you to go 3 steps ahead. I want you to go to the next step. And if you're a Ruby and you've got girls on your team, and let's say this is Rochelle, and she has Jamie, Melissa, and Sophia on her team. And Melissa wants Ruby and Sophia wants Ruby. Then Rochelle's going to have her chart on the back, and she's going to have Jamie, Melissa, and Sophia's charts ready to go. What do they want? Now, if she pops 3 rubies, what does that make her? Pretty close to diamond, right? At least. And so take what you want, mark it, put it on the back, and start helping other people. And if you guys don't understand compensation plan tonight, that's your homework. Go print it off, go study it. And half of you won't. I know half of you won't. You'll sit here and I'll say, drop a 1 if you're going to go do it. Drop a 1 if you're going to go print the compensation plan. And even if you don't have a printer, you can save it to your phone. You can start studying now. You guys, it's learning a new language. I am not a green personality, and I printed that thing, I binded that thing, and I studied it every single day. I was like, what's a leg? Oh my gosh, what's BV? I was going to school for my business. And I learned that. And now that's why I'm so passionate about building, is I had to understand, okay, how much can I make? And what products does this count for? And what does commission qualified mean? And what's compression? Not that that's super important, but with what's coming, you guys are going to want to know how to build rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. If you're catching one of them.
You're like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You guys, I love that you said that because I feel like one of the greatest things I ever did for my business was after I went diamond, I studied the comp plan and I really understood where all of the things came from. And when people say, oh, how come you get paid above average? Well, I know where I get paid.
Yeah. And you guys know too that if you enroll, you always make more, right? So if you're not enrolling, more than likely you're not doing the KPI task of messaging. Like I have girls that literally have been in and they message and they're like, I don't even know what I signed up for, but I just asked my friend and she said yes. And I'm like, sweet. Awesome. Okay. The more that, or you're like, hey, upline, do you have a distributor you can place underneath me? They can. But I'll tell you what, you guys, I made it to the top of the company without anyone placing underneath me. Doesn't mean that I wish they didn't. For sure. That'd have been awesome. But that's why I was always above average, is because I did the work within my own chart. And so act as if you don't have an upline, be hungry like you're always a distributor. And as you know that, like, if this is to be, it's going to be up to me. I'm going to figure it out. Because I'll tell you what, when I went ambassador, we didn't have Zooms. That's for darn sure. I had my e-suite and the website. That was it. I didn't have a team page. I didn't have an upline. I had to fail and I misplaced customers all the time and I missed tons of fast starts. I didn't even get my product credit. I didn't know what I was doing. And I didn't like not knowing what I was doing enough to go study and go to work and not depend on somebody else to teach it to me. Because if they teach it to me, they can take it from me. And if I go and do the work and I put in the hours and I grow into that, then I'm going to get paid for it. And so homework tonight, download that compensation plan. Don't understand it all. Don't go to bed with a headache. Okay. But understand the basics of Ruby. Okay. Make a commitment that you're going to enroll at least 3 distributors before the end of the month. This month. Yes. That means in what? 2 days, 3 days. Just because you never have before doesn't mean you can't now. It's that belief. Okay. And if you know that you want 3, you need to go start messaging. You need to ask anyone and everyone. Do it scared. Because if you don't, somebody else will. And if you don't, I hope you feel good about taking food off their table, because that's what this business could give them. Just shift your perspective as we go in to tomorrow. I'm freaking like mind blown already, but it's going to be awesome. And you guys be ready tomorrow at noon Eastern on Mark's page.
Oh my gosh. So freaking good. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for an hour tonight, giving us so much wisdom. Everyone say thank you in the chat, drop a whatever if you learned anything, and if you don't, you're lying. So I will put this up on my YouTube tonight, and we will see you all next week with Lachelle Ann. Bye.